What you're about to watch is a recap of some of the inspiring moments from our guests right here on Visionary Voices. Enjoy!
You get to be the number one person in deciding things for yourself, right? Don't have other people decide for you. You get to say, I am going to use my own agency and my ability to create.
I had heart surgery. So how did you manage to do your heart surgery? I didn't realize, at the time how difficult it was and what you actually go through. But, I did. And it was a very, very difficult, dark period of time that I don't think I realized how much it was. And I didn't realize how much inner strength I had, which I was very pleased to discover.
Life happens to all of us. We just have to be open to opportunities, open to how your story is unfolding, and not be closed-minded.
Just open to opportunities, open to this idea that I don't know what's out there, what's possible, because we live in our own world. You have your own upbringing, you have your own circumstances, your own schooling. And so your view on the world is really limited by your own personal experiences or what you've read or what you've seen. At the end of the day, if I don't know something, it doesn't make it not real or not available or not possible. It's about seeking opportunities from the people around you. And so it was more important for me to set the intention of what I wanted to do compared to the exact thing I wanted to do.
When I build products, that's how I try to do it, is really lead with something, but be very, very flexible. Part of what I learned from doing all those other startups is sometimes a founder can be like, this is what it is, and not listen to what people are saying to them. And then, maybe they're right, but typically you got to listen to what the signals are coming from your users, your customers, everyone else, and be willing to adapt your vision to what is actually going to work.
Always be ready, because you never know when that opportunity for money is going to walk through the door. You got to be ready.
I don't believe in competition, and competition truly doesn't exist. When you believe in competition, you are accepting scarcity.
Yeah.
You are embracing scarcity mindset. I don't care what field of business you are in. When you think that there is not enough for everybody, you would want to keep it for yourself as much as possible. Sure. And if you believe in a God or a creator and you think that that person or that being knew what they were doing, you would realize that there is enough for everybody on earth. There's enough food for everybody. If humans knew how to use food, there's enough water for everybody to be able to take a shower 5 times a day. There is enough money for everybody. When you see it from that perspective, you will easily train somebody to do the same thing you are doing, because there is enough for both of you. I alone cannot take all the opportunities. Somebody else takes the other part, I take this part. So it's easier to embrace the abundance mindset and share opportunity rather than embrace the scarcity mindset and have somebody frighten you to check your competition, to always worry about what the other person is doing. And then you miss the opportunity of fully embracing what you're supposed to be doing.
What do you want out of life? Do you just want to keep doing this? What does success look like to you? And what does your happiness look like? You can still be successful and be happy, but what does that look like? Do you have to keep going, 100 miles per hour doing all these things?
Success is an external viewpoint on where we are and who we are and what we have. It's the opinions of others that really dictate whether we're successful or not.
Yeah.
And so, but the contrast though, so that's whether success is external, fulfillment is an internal metric. Not a single person can tell you what will make you fulfilled. It's your own personal journey. It makes you really dive into your life and into your story and what you want to do to be fulfilled, what makes you really have that joy. And that doesn't mean that you're happy all the time. It's not about fulfillment is that you're always happy, everything's great. Because sometimes, to be fulfilled, you're on a journey that's hard, whether that's business or your personal life, and it's difficult. But when you sit back and think, you're like, I would rather be nowhere else because I'm on the path towards my fulfillment. I'm on the road to fulfillment. At the end of the day, you can be as successful as you can be. You can have all the accolades, you can win all the awards, but at the end of the day, you can still be miserable and unhappy. The pursuit of that makes no sense then. So the humans really shouldn't be pursuing success. They should be pursuing fulfillment.
I think fulfillment is everything. Fulfillment brings a sense of gratitude you wouldn't get if fulfillment wasn't there. At a superficial level, when people want to start businesses or do things, it's always like money, 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 money. But the reality is, when you go for the fulfillment, you will always have the money and somebody will be blessed and happy in the process of you doing what you are doing. So it's having that humane desire to truly give service to human being. When you do that from that perspective, money becomes a bonus. Money becomes an external validation that you had a good intention and somebody benefited from what you are doing. I value fulfillment, and I value every entrepreneur that puts fulfillment first rather than money, material, and other things.
My livelihood and my living is based on making the world a better place. If I had to be using my time to be doing anything right now, to be making a living, if I can actually say that I am having an impact on changing this world, and then the other parts are like, okay, here's income that helps us sustain yourself and to be able to wake up and eat, et cetera, et cetera. I want to be able to say that I am doing things that is helping other people and that is changing the world, as opposed to making money and dumping oil into the oceans and killing the fish, right? I mean, there are people who are doing some things to make money. We were kind of like, really?
You're starting a business is because you're fed up with the job and it's so stressful, then you're doing it wrong. If you're starting a business because you really found a solution and you want to, you really found a problem and you want to provide a solution to help somebody, then you would succeed better. Life 90% of the time will not go as planned, and success is for those who can navigate the twists and turns without giving up.
Not thinking that you've earned your place, you're not good enough. It's always there, especially for newcomers. Regardless of how well you did in your previous life, in your previous country, when you come to a new place, a new space, there's always that tiny, winning voice at the back of your head saying, oh, you know you're not good enough. I don't see it from the negative light anymore. I see it as a reason to get up before others. I see it as a reason to stay longer in the office. I see it as an opportunity for me to compete against who I was yesterday and get better, and also give others opportunities. When you've seen how much you've accomplished, how much you've done, how some of your decisions have worked, you realize that that voice isn't logical any longer. That voice is coming from a place of fear, apprehension, and lack of logic. There's no reason, there's no rhyme. I'm supporting that voice. But at the very beginning, you don't have the benefit of history. So that voice does have a stronger play and a stronger influence. But over time, that voice has no influence any longer. It's always going to be there, but it does not have any influence anymore.
Do some kind of physical activity. You don't have to run a marathon, but walk around the block, do your yoga, do Zoom, whatever. To make sure that it's not excess energy that's built up in your body that we've ignored, because it's very easy to sit at a desk all day long as an entrepreneur and always feel like there's more work to do. So my first recommendation would be take a walk or do something without a headset that will get you out in the world and moving.
Do what you need to do to take a break. Your success is not determined by your productivity level. Recognize that those skills that got you those achievements will get you that after the fact. But take a minute to pause, because life is really short. Like, if you didn't learn that in the pandemic, there will be something else we'll push in front of you to say, relax, take a time out and breathe. It's okay to breathe sometimes.
It takes a lot to create all this content. It takes a lot, both time, effort, and investment. The amount of effort you put out there, and if people can only come to terms with the importance of what you're giving them, you should be the busiest person. They should be flogging to you.
You ask the right questions, you do your research, you understand the person across from you, you know their journey, so you're asking very targeted questions. So kudos to what you're doing in your podcast.
Everyone should be watching Ida's podcast. You are doing incredible work, and I want to, recognize you for that. I know that when individuals come onto the podcast, of course, people are going to learn more about the subject or the person, but I want everyone to know who you are. I want everyone to subscribe. I want everyone to say, that's my go-to for questions that I have for finance, entrepreneurship, etc.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be part of the podcast and part of a lineup of amazing guests that you had. So thanks for having me.
Thanks very much. Really appreciate it. Wonderful to be here.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Hey, thank you very much for having me. It's great to meet you.
Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
For more insightful conversations with entrepreneurs, check out this video right here. I think you'll love it. Continue to enjoy, and I'll see you there.